Hi everyone, this is Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Today I'm going to continue giving some more notebooking tips. Today I'm going to be talking about notebooking high school. In my first video, I mainly focused on my littles and my middles. In future videos, you'll understand what I mean by that, but it's my elementary and middle school age children that I focused on. And today I'm going to focus on high school. Now, I do have 3 kids that are homeschooling high school this year, and they all do notebooking. Some of it looks very similar to what the younger kids do, but of course, I do expect more advanced writing from them, and some of it is a little bit different. So I'm just going to go over the different types of notebooking that my high schoolers are doing this year. So the first one is 2 of my high schoolers are also doing the copybooks like my younger kids, where they will copy poetry and just put it right in this little composition book. And again, that's just to give them a foundation of good mechanics, writing, punctuation, sentence structure, and it also helps them to see alliteration and different types of writing techniques that are used. In my other video, I also talked about animal notebooks that I was having my younger kids do. And my 15-year-old daughter is an animal lover just like my kids. So when she heard that I was doing the animal notebooks with my younger kids, she wanted to do it too. So hers is very similar to the younger kids. Right now, she's doing hedgehogs and moles and shrews and those sorts of animals. So I'll just show you. Hers is, like I said, it's a lot like her younger siblings. So this one, she just shaded in the hedgehog range where they live. And she just sketched out some drawings of them and wrote some information on them. Some pictures. And some more. Here is where moles are found. And in my other video, I did talk about how I do allow my kids to do drawings as notebooking because it is showing comprehension of a subject. With my high schoolers, I do let them occasionally do drawings, but at their age, I do expect them to do some more writing than my younger kids do. So for example, if one of my teenagers does a drawing, say for example, my son did a drawing of, I forget, it was a kind of bat yesterday, and I said to him, okay, and now I will say that it was a detailed drawing. He really likes to draw. But I did tell him, today you have to research bats. I want to see some actual facts about that. So I'm a little bit more strict with my older kids when it comes to notebooking, but for this one, it is, it's basically the same thing. They can do what they want, although I do expect a little bit more advanced things from them. Now my son that I was talking about, he's not actually doing just an animal notebook. He is doing an Animals of Pennsylvania notebook. And this is where it changes a little bit. The reason that he is doing Animals of Pennsylvania is because at this point, he would like to be a wildlife photographer. So whenever it's warm outside, he is always outside taking pictures of animals, especially snakes, salamanders, frogs, turtles, squirrels, you name it. He is out there, and he actually has a picture of his finger getting bit by a garter snake. He's very into what he does. But when it's cold out, he really can't get outside much to get those pictures. He likes to go to the creek, and a lot of the animals just aren't out at that time of year. And so what we've decided to do to keep him at least doing something that he's interested in and something that's going to help him with what he'd like to do is we've had him start researching the different animals that he'll find in Pennsylvania. Now, of course, if he does go on to become a wildlife photographer, he will not just stay in Pennsylvania. But as of right now, this is where we live. So it's good that he has a familiarity with the animals that are around here. So that's what he's been doing. So here he started listing different Pennsylvania mammals, jumping mice, voles, rats, mice, rabbits, beavers, and here he did a little drawing of, I think that's a mole. And he just continues to list all the different mammals that are here. Here he actually wrote more about a black rat, not my favorite animal. at all. And like I said, here is a northern short-tailed shrew, an opossum, another shrew, and he did an elk. And over here, he did some notes on an elk because, same thing, the one day he decided, I'm going to draw an elk. Well, I said, that's fine, but tomorrow I do expect you to write something on the elk. I don't want just drawings all the time from you. So that's what he did. He wrote on the elk, and that's exactly what he's going to do. It was a big brown bat that he drew. And so what he's going to do is he is going to come up with some facts to write about this, and he already has his paper in here all ready to do. Actually, while I'm on this is something that I've printed up for my kids. It actually gives them different ideas of what to use in their notebook. And I'm actually going to, at some point, get this on my blog as a download on my free resources page. So you can look for that anytime that you visit. And I'll just read some of them because a lot of times we can get stuck in a rut when it comes to notebooking. We can kind of keep doing the same things over and over again, you know, where you write facts, you write some bullet points, you write a little report, you write a summary. And if you do that every day, even if you are doing different subjects, it can get a little bit boring. So I wrote down a list of some ideas, and I'm just going to read some that are a little bit different than what you'd expect in a notebook. For example, you could use clip art. You could print things out and paste them onto your drawings, decorate your pages with that. You could make lists, even recipes. Now, of course, it depends on what you're notebooking on, but recipes can be included in notebooks. You can either find pamphlets or flyers on your subject, and you can write a little bit about it and glue it in there just like a scrapbook. Or you could have your kids make their own pamphlets or flyers for their subject. Same thing, you could put ticket stubs in there, newspapers and magazine articles. You could do, for example, tree rubbings. If they have a nature notebook, you could put rubbings of trees in there, and they could even probably label it what sort of tree it was. Collages, comic strips, graphs, coloring pages, flag books. There are really so many ideas of what you can put in a notebook. So really keep your mind open, because basically, if it can be flattened, it can be put in a notebook. So think of your notebook as a journal crossed with a scrapbook. I think that's the best way to describe what a notebook is. Those are the only ones that I have here right now to show you, but there are two other types of notebooks that my kids use. My 15-year-old is upstairs using one right now, so I couldn't show you that. And my 17-year-old is upstairs doing her other one, so I couldn't show you that, but I am going to describe them. My 15-year-old is also doing a notebook right now on ancient Egyptian history, and she's been focusing on King Tut. So she has been not only writing facts, she's been photocopying hieroglyphics. She's been trying to write some of her own hieroglyphics, and she really is having a lot of fun. She really enjoys that time period, and she's actually gone so far now as to start copying these hieroglyphics, and she's going to put them all over her bedroom walls because she likes them so much. So that's an idea for notebooking history. Another idea that we have, my 17-year-old is going to be graduating this year. She will be my first homeschool graduate, and she is planning on taking a road trip to Florida after she graduates, and she's really excited about this. So what she's been doing is she is actually doing a notebook on her future plans for traveling to Florida. She has a map. She's mapped out different routes, how to get there if she would take a bus, how to get there if she were to take a train, what rates would be, different landmarks that she'd like to stop at. So many different things. She's decorating it with little palm trees, and she's really excited about this. She's taking so much time. The other night she was downstairs for 45 minutes just cutting out palm trees for it. I mean, I know she plans on taking it with her, and I can see it now. She's very meticulous. She's my artist, and she's going to have that thing filled. So those are some ideas of what we're doing for our high school notebooking right now. And again, I'm just going to go over one more time. It was just the copybooks like we've been doing, the animal notebook, or letting your child just do something that interests them. You could do a notebook on a possible career option for your child, like with my son with his Pennsylvania wildlife notebook. That will really help him in the long run to get used to the animals that are around here, get to know their habits, where they can be found, their lifespans, different things. So even though he can't get outside right now to take those pictures that he likes to take, he really can still research and be involved and inform himself on these things. And also we have the last one that my daughter is doing, the Florida one. And like I said, that can be another one that's just interests or plans that your child has. And it's a great way for them to map out for themselves what they want to do, to learn how to schedule things and to learn how to budget, just to learn how they're going to get from point A to point B when mom isn't around, because that happens. And I was really impressed when I said to her about trying a notebook. She used to be a really big Doctor Who fan, so I, said to her, I wanted her to do something fun. I said, hey, you could do one on time travel. That would be really cool if you would just read different stories on that. And she said, you know what? No, I think I'm going to do it on my road trip to Florida. And I was blown away because ever since she did that, she's been so excited about it. So I hope these ideas have helped you. If you have any questions, leave a comment, or you can visit me on my blog at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. I hope to see you there sometime. Have a good night.